Well, shout the cock out, folks. Johnny Line Hobo Depot. Like, looking crazy. All right, so I'm in a Hobo Depot today, and today I'm experiencing some greatness. I experience greatness every day because I'm living. All right, and I'm in the Hobo Depot. Today we're looking at a. Let me show you what that is. See what that is? Can y'all see that? It's kind of backwards because I got the phone backwards. It's a backwards phone. All right, so today we're experiencing one thing. All right, so I took this thing out on a test drive, and something was going crazy with it, and it wasn't pleasant because I was on a church service, and it actually just started going out, and I'm thinking, what in the world? So this is the bass. You already know what it is. It's a Kid Smith. It's a vintage Smith. Oh, vintage Smith. All right. So this is a vintage Smith 4-knobber, and you can tell it's a neck through. All right. So the issue was that right there. All right. When it came in the shop, I replaced it, but what I replaced it with, I didn't check it. Now I'm about to show you something because this is a moment of learning. All right, so I'm gonna get an old one. So there's schooling about to happen right now. All right, so what I did, I tested it. Look, I tested it. I put it in like this, but it didn't do that. You hear it? Watch. You hear that? 1, 2, lock. I put it in and it did this. Did you hear anything? Look. Did you hear anything? Look. Nothing. That's what it did. It went in, and when it went in, it was so loose on the inside. Every time I moved and that cord moved, although I had it running through my strap, it still went out, telling me on the inside of this tube, there's a defect. All right. Brand new tube now. That junk brand new. Almost brand new. Look, that junk brand new. Almost. Oh, that's Hootie right there. I kept looking at the back of the screen going, who is that behind me? That's Hootie. Hootie, come up here and say something to folks, man. Hootie's there wearing this $20 mask. And he's got new glasses. You a beast, son. He's a beast. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to take this joint out. All right? And it's not hard to do to replace these right here. Let me put the camera down so you guys can see. Uh-oh. I went sideways. All right. So it's not very hard to do to replace these. Because basically all you do is take the cover off the back of your bass. Let's turn around a little bit. And, you know, you get the right tool to take the nut off. Inside of your bass, up in here, there's a nut. I'm gonna show you. See, there's a nut right there. Can you see it? Right there is a. Move that out of the way. All right. Inside your bass, right in there, there's a nut. See that nut right there? You have to get the right tool, loosen that nut up, and once that nut get loosened up, every wire that you take off, you replace it with on the same post. All right. If you take this one off, soldering that one off, you put it on the same post of this that you take off. Now, I want to say something. You guys gonna say, okay, yeah, that's great. Do you know where most of your problems come in when you do your own repair? I'm looking at, yeah, can y'all see it? I'm looking at the Book of Eli. It plays every day, all day. I love that movie. All right, so you know what most of your issues come in when you start soldering is that a lot of people can't solder. All right, they put the soldering gun on the part and let it sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there and then let it melt and let it melt and let it melt and let it melt. All the time, that heat is transferring right down that tube to whatever else it has to transfer to. And guess what it's doing? It's burning the snot out of it. And Booker too. It's just burnt. It's just tearing stuff up on the inside. And that's why when a lot of people, you get your stuff repaired, you have to be careful who you take it to, because a lot of people, they don't, I'm not the greatest solderer in the world. I said solderer. I don't even think that's a word, solderer. I'm not the greatest solderer in the world, all right? But I'm not bad. But I do know that when it's time to solder something, ooh, I'm stepping on my cord. I do know when it's time to solder something, I use the greatest, I don't say the greatest trick in the world. What's going on with this cord? Thank you, Hemp. It's all messed up down there. I use this. Now, it doesn't work, well, it does work, but it's kind of weird. You're kind of weird. So what I do is basically whatever I'm soldering, I put this to it. And then the heat transferred to this. Especially when I'm working on preamps and stuff. Man, woo, eat. That's one of them eat moments, boy, because once that iron hit that wire that you have to solder, and that wire runs to a preamp, where's that heat going if you don't have nowhere to defer that heat to? It's going straight to that preamp. And what's going to happen? You'll be like, yeah, I started me up. I put my own preamp in. That don't sound nice, man, but I got a little noise. Look, you're going to start out with a little noise, and you're going to end up with, my bass don't work. Because it's going to start going this. It's going to start doing this, man, excuse me. It's going to start doing, that's when you know you're in trouble. Man, I sneezed. Y'all excuse me, but I sneezed. And you gotta do these things, right? Got the lights off. People like, why don't you just use hand sanitizer? I could have done it too. Doesn't matter. Oh, I got some of that too. It's like, dude, you're in there by yourself. So, cleanliness is next to godliness. Remember that. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to just go ahead and take this tube out. And I should have triple checked it. I checked it and double checked, but I should have triple checked it. Because you don't want to ever get on a gig and your stuff is jacked. Because you know what it does? It takes you right out of your groove, man. It's like, bruh, sis, oh my God, what's going on? So today, folks, let me go ahead and put this together. And real quick, I can solder it together. And then we're going to try it out. And it's going to work. Thanks for coming by the Hobo Depot. Shada Kaka. Oh, who this says? Shada Kaka. Hello, who this said? He still got that $20 mask on, man. He done had it on over a month now. And he's still living. I don't get it, man. Subscribe. Peace.